I'm Chester44, and welcome to this Let's Play of Blades of Avernum. Last episode was me demonstrating one of the utility scenarios, and I'm going to spend some time demonstrating a bit more of one of the other ones. I didn't expect it to take more than one episode, but anyway, before I demonstrated the high-level party maker, because kind of figured I should. The other ones that the second one I'm going to mention is one that was actually mentioned in there, and I am curious about it. That's this one right here, the Artifacts Hall. So, let's take a look at it. Welcome to the Artifacts Hall. Here, all of the artifacts in all scenarios released to date are held. Artifacts are listed in the order that their scenario came out. It is intended that you take artifacts from scenarios below or at your party's level, but not mandatory. Note that this utility only contains artifacts. Items that can be found in that are not listed here. These items include Mithril Chainmail, Demon Slayer, etc. For those items, consult the high-level party maker and use their shopkeepers to buy them. Core Send Data. So is that like the core scenarios? Basikava, Lord Putidus. Okay, these are all items that we'd find. That's the exit. Valley of the Dying Things. Okay, there we go. Chitin Armor, Emblazoned Shield, Ichor-Coated Butler. Okay, these are all the items that we'd get in these specific things. Who are you? A man sits here at a desk, leaning on his chair with his feet propped on a pile of papers. He seems ambivalent to your presence. Oh look, more adventurers coming to pick up the world's most valued treasures. My name is Terra's Martyr. Spare me your life story and just tell me what you need identified. I'll do it for free. I can also buy items I don't want to keep. Well, that's good. Okay, that's a small rebellion. That's the second scenario. Again, the kind of stuff we'd normally find. Surprised the leaden cloak is in there. Zvazakazai Run, we've done that. Huh. Okay, this is reaching the level of things that we don't know what are. A scepter, gauntlets, bracelet, large fang, necklace, crystal. Oh, that's interesting now that I look at this. The ground. Valley of the Dying Things is filled with poison and trash. Small Rebellion has blood and bones. The Zakazai Run has a Venatai crystal. And Diplomacy with the Dead? That statue I remember seeing in there, so... And here we have all this unidentified stuff. The hell is this hat? I want to see what this hat is, because that looks cool. Wizard's Cap. +2 to Magery, +1 to Resistance, and blocks 1 to 0 damage. Wow! That is both useful and useless. And these are all the other scenarios that they have in here. Quite a few, it looks like. I'm not going to go into any of them because I want to keep the surprise. Oh. Okay, there's... Wait, that's all? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's seriously it. Hold on, there's more. It shows more down there. That must be only there for, like... Yeah, that must only be there just in case you need to check out other things, so... Well, if that's it for the Artifacts Hall, I think I can just leave. So, I'm going to do that, and then I'll take a look at one of the other utility scenarios that was mentioned there. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, now to look at the next one that's a utility scenario listed on here. and that is Magic Lab. For analyzing spells, the included singleton party is recommended. I don't know what that is. Oh! Okay, this is just meant to test things, isn't it? Set priest spell levels, set priest skill, set mage spell levels, set mage skill, set magery, set intelligence. Okay, yeah, whoa. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's not going to be anything out here, but I'm gonna take a look around anyway. But I think I see what the point of this is. It's based on the description that was there. This is basically just meant to, you know, let you test out various spell levels. There's really not much to this, it looks like. Oh wait, here's something. Danger, damager platform. It doesn't say what that... How much endurance? Oh, that sets up how that works. Takes 0 fire damage. Okay, and these are creatures that you'd be testing it on. There's not even any real way to leave here. It's just... And it looked like when I smacked one of them, it immediately respawned. And they don't really attack me. Well, okay, they do, but they don't do much damage. Alright, so that's basically... This one is a utility scenario just to test out spells and stuff like that. Alright, there is one more, which I think has a bit more plot and such to it. We really have gone down. The first one had an immense amount of detail to it and the way it worked. And they even included some fun bits to it for, you know, just in case people wanted a bit more than just what there was. Can't learn spells. And never mind. Anyway, oh, that's why it's only a singleton party, because it's for only one person. Okay, I get it. Yeah, the first one had a lot of detail and information and the like, which was enough for a full episode. The second one, it had a little bit of flavor to it, with the designs for all the individual places, and this is just completely basic. So I wonder what the fourth utility location I have is. Alright, the fourth one, I don't know much about, though I heard it was just an experiment. Some said I could skip it, others said I didn't need to. Let's take a look at 9 variations on point B. 1. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. You must reach point B. Okay. Let's see. Now entering small town. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must reach point B. Okay. Is there like a hidden path over here or something? Doesn't look like it. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. You must reach point B. Okay, I get how what this is. You activate point B. Okay. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. A hostile monster blocks the route to point B. You must reach point B. Okay then. Get to point A to activate point B. Kill the hostile monster. The hostile monster appears. And dies. 5. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. A hostile monster blocks the route to point B. A guard blocks the way to point B. You must reach point B. Okay then. I wonder what that little bit over there is for. Activate point B. This is a guard. What is your job? Guarding. You can either pass this guard or fail. Pass. The guard is now gone. A hostile monster appears. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. A hostile monster blocks the route to point B. A guard blocks the way to point B. It is necessary to retrieve a special item before reaching point B. You must reach point B. I see what they're trying to do with this. You retrieve the special item. You have received a special item. Special item. This is a special item. You activate point B. Pass the guard. The guard is now gone. A hostile monster appears. Killed the hostile monster. And we're through. Oh, this is new. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. A hostile monster blocks the route to point B. A guard blocks the way to point B. It is necessary to retrieve a special item before reaching point B. You must reach point B. Custom graphics and terrain scripts have been implemented. Custom graphics and terrain scripts. Oh, I've never actually seen this before. Sign and floor. And that actually says point A. You activate point B. This is a guard. Pass. The guard is now gone. The hostile monster appears. Those are definitely custom and unique. You are in a small town. Point B is in front of you. The direct route to point B is obstructed. You must first reach point A to activate point B. A hostile monster blocks the route to point B. A guard blocks the way to point B. It is necessary to retrieve a special item before reaching point B. You must reach point B. Custom graphics and terrain scripts have been implemented. Creature scripts, cutscenes, and heights are added too. The town has been expanded and complicated. Yeah, there's the heights running up. Can't go through that gate. You do not have the special item. There's the special items in the box. There was a hidden door. You retrieve the special item. You unlock the gates and open them. There's a large wooden wheel here with a long length of iron chain wrapped around it several times. The chain then goes from the wheel into a hole in the ground. Try to turn the wheel. And there's the sounds. There's the guard. What is your job? Guarding. Pass. The guard is now gone. The hostile monster appears. Roar! You die! The monster explodes. The monster screams as it dies. You've reached the core of the Imperial Palace, and not a moment too soon. From below the ladderway that lead you to this area, you can hear the shouts of guards preparing for the worst. In a matter of hours, a state of war will exist between the Empire of Huan and the Empire of Sujiro. That is, if you can't get to the Emperor with the information you've gotten from Xiang first. The ambassador in Tianpo kept thorough records, far too thorough for his own good. Although the journal itself was in code and diplomatically worthless, it suggested strongly that records of the attack on the 5th Regiment existed in fine detail in the now-abandoned embassy in the Imperial Palace. It also detailed the presence of a secret room in which the records were hidden, which explains why the Imperial forces have not yet exonerated Sujiro from their apparent wrongdoings. Your passkey, much like a small version of the Huan coat of arms, is cold in your pocket. With it and the important documents in the embassy, you'll be able to see the Emperor and set things right once and for all. Now entering Imperial Palace. Of all the trivial things, the gates to the inner Imperial chambers are locked and you don't have the key. You can't turn back now. It must be around here somewhere. Here he lies, the ambassador in Tianpo, who committed suicide to preserve his honor after having been forced to betray his own country. If the journal that you read was correct, the records are in the box. Sure enough, below a loose floorboard and a stack of papers detailing plans for and execution of an attack by disguised agents of Xiang on the 5th Regiment along the Madara River. With these, the Emperor will have no choice but to switch hostilities from Sujiro to Xiang, and the northern dogs will learn a harsh lesson in stabbing Huan in the back. The black steel key is here too. This will open the gates to the northwest. You use the black steel key you found with the papers to unlock these gates and open them. You are drawing nearer to the Emperor. His inner chambers lie just beyond this hall. Turn the wheel. The chains rattle. The alarms are off. I can't tell you any more than I have already. Move on along. The Emperor will be able to receive visitors tomorrow. What is your job? Look, unless you've got evidence that someone besides Sujiro is responsible for this crime, I suggest you go away. You remember now there's a password for this kind of thing. Calf. Calf. The guard's eyes widen. Oh dear. I'm sorry to have kept you. Move right along. He scurries off. The path to the Imperial Chambers is now open. When you enter this room, a man clad in the black of the Xi'an Special Infantry swings down from the ceiling. He is carrying several firebombs developed in the Xi'an research facilities, the ones you read about in the Citadel in Baizhong. Lieutenant, here! I cannot allow you to reach the Emperor, for Xi'an and the Black Iron Fist. The Xi'an Special Infantry man throws a firebomb on the ground. His specially designed heat shield protects him from the flames, but you are not so lucky. Curse you, fox! The Xi'an assassin roars at you as he falls, mortally wounded. It does not matter. You are too late. Huan is betrayed, and it will fall. With that, he dies, and you must hurry to make sure that he is wrong. You approach the Emperor with your evidence. You can only hope that you've reached him in time. And that's it. No, I don't want to save. But I see exactly what the point of that was. It was called a utility. It didn't have any use for us specifically, because it's meant for the scenario makers. I see what the point of that was. It's meant to show the process of making a scenario. 9 variations on point B. The goal of pretty much any scenario, or at least any scenario in the small scale sense, is you need to get from where you are to where you need to be. In this case, you need to get from the start to the end. Point A to point B. At first, it's just a simple task of, okay, I'm moving from here to here. Let's make it more difficult. Let's put something in the way, so you have to go around to get there. Now let's make it a bit more difficult. Sure, you can go right there, but let's say you need to go somewhere else first to get it. Then you need to get an item before you get it. And then it just gets more and more complex. And eventually it reaches the point at the end where you go, okay, now let's make it look like this, and now let's put all the story and everything filling around it. The exact thing at the end was you need to get these papers to the Emperor before something bad happens, but it was in essence the same thing. Get from point A to point B. It may not be something for me to use, but it's something for anyone else to use whenever if they decide to make a scenario. And I guess this is actually something that can be applied to pretty much anyone making any sort of game or anything like that. All your goal is get from point A to point B. What are you going to put in it to make it more difficult? What are you going to do to work on that? I like this idea. I like that. That said, that's the end of the utility scenarios I have. 2 episodes, I guess, detailing the utility scenarios that were included, or that were listed. I think there may have been 1 or 2 others, but these were the main ones that I was going into. That said, next episode we're going to start in the scenarios proper. And I'm going to start with one the way I'm going to do these scenarios is the first ones I'm going to do are ones that specifically said you do this one before this one. There's a specific order to doing them. So I'm going to do a few of those. After that, I'm going to do basically all the scenarios I know of that have listed levels, and I'm going to slowly work my way up through them and use the high-level party maker to make things set up for that. That works for me. Then after that, excuse me. Then after that, I'm going to look at these scenarios listed as any. These scenarios, I believe, are ones that aren't going to have any combat or anything like that. They're just, you can go in here at any level and you'll be fine. And then I'm going to look at, I have like a dozen scenarios that I don't know the level of. So I'm going to need to find some way to figure that out, and I'll probably leave them for last. But the first scenarios I'm going to do, anyone who knows of this may have heard of them. It seemed like a lot of people have heard of them, and if you've looked at me while I was browsing through the scenarios, you may have seen it. I'm going to be looking at scenarios made by some guy named Calandon. That'll be in the next episode, so until then, I'm Chester44, that is Fox, Sheik, Bonnie, and Draco. This has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.